Good evening, everybody. This is Evelyn, and I have a it's a 4-deck read that I did last night just after midnight. I had the 7-deck read on the table. I did just before that last night. And I have some profound messages from this morning. I'm going to do the 4-deck read from last night. I went in to do a redo this morning to get more clarity on the read that I'd done after midnight last night. And I couldn't even get through 4 decks. Like, I would get to just a couple decks because I was using my half deck of the Rider-Waite, and I was using the Wild Unknown Animal Guidebook, and they started pouring out more cards into pyramid form, so I couldn't actually get to 4 decks. So there was 2 of those smaller reads because they really brought out very specific messages. And I wanted to recommend some things to you today as well before we go ahead and take our deep breaths. Some things that came up on my feed as far as simple exercises to help you guys shift. One of them was from a YouTube channel called Awaken By, and it's by Master Chunyi Ling Qigong. It's a Qigong technique. And the one I was looking at is this exercise will make any disease disappear forever. And it involves just bouncing on your toes and some simple arm movements. So anyone can do these. So I would recommend you check that out. I actually haven't watched the whole thing yet. Or maybe I have, but I just didn't see the very end. The other one was a vagus nerve release that I did today a couple times already, which is really simple to do. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so that is Suki Baxter's website on YouTube. S-U-K-I-E, Baxter, B-A-X-T-E-R. And the one that I watched was the vagus nerve release, I believe. It's a very short video. It's only about 4 minutes long. Let me actually see what the title was exactly so I can give that to you. Vagus nerve reset. Vagus nerve reset to release trauma stored in the body. A polyvagal exercise. So it's really, really simple. Anyone can do it, and it has to do with the eyes. And I'm really big on eye healing since I have dry eyes, and I have I need reading glasses. So that one was really good and easy. And then also I just was reminded of the psoas muscle releases. If you can find any psoas muscle release exercises online, try them out. The one that I had found I can't find anymore. So I have to find another good one for myself. But I did that a few times, and releasing your psoas muscle, because it's very hard to access your psoas because it's in the center of your body. It attaches the top of your body to the bottom of your body, and it stores all of your baby trauma energies, right, when you can't respond for yourself. And so most people haven't released that energy. So it's important that you release your psoas muscle as well. If I find something, I'll let you know about it. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of blessings to you guys, and an amazingly happy new year for all of you. I hope you all have an amazing 2023 of peace, love, and happiness, of great health and joy. And as I said before, 23 is the King of Wands, and it adds up to a 7, which is the calm before the storm. It's very much about peace. And it's about the King of Wands finding peace this year, which is so funny because Teddy, our dog, always comes up as the King of Wands. And he's still a puppy, so he's probably going to be learning how to find balance this year, for sure. So I was just meditating before I started with you guys to see what my inner little girl wanted to tell you. And she was very excited. The first thing she was showing me is the hula hoop, which may be another good exercise that we need to do to release the midsection. as we're doing the eyes and then bouncing on our feet. And then what was missing is the midsection. So she was showing me the hula hoop, and she was very excited about it to do the hula hoop. So maybe you want to just try that movement or find something regarding that movement that might be helpful for you if that's significant for you. And she was very excited about the divine masculine as well. She kept like doing little secretive things, like back and forth between the wall, between the masculine side and the feminine side. And then I saw some purple energy flying through from the masculine side over to the feminine, like they were telling secrets to each other. And then I actually saw a masculine presence right just before I started communicating with her. A very large masculine presence. And then I saw a very royal ring. It was very thick, round, not round like a ring, but the shape of the actual ring was round, and it had lots of multicolored gems in it. So not real dark gems, but more of a medium pastel energy of lots of different colors in yellow gold. And it was like separated. I mean, it was very formed and very well done. But what was most significant, but it wasn't focused on, was that it was actually made into like a rose. Like, I don't know what the red part of the rose wrapping around the diamond or center stone was, because they weren't really showing me the center stone. They were showing me this band, but it was like a crown. It was like a crown with a rose growing out of it. Somebody might be making this ring for somebody. It was very beautiful. Again, that energy of a diamond coming out of the center of a rose. And I don't know what the red part of the rose was made out of, but it was all very regal. So it wasn't anything cheap or anything. It was really beautiful. So there's that. So very beautiful energy there as well. Let's see here. Was there anything else I wanted to share with you? Yeah, and there's the design that I put on my last tag for my New Year's video. There's some significant energies in that. If you just want to take a moment and look at that, that was definitely a download for me that I drew. And I think that's it for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll the die. Oh, that's right, Diana came up too. In the crown coming up, and now I have this ring coming up regarding the crown. There's a big shift as we turned into this new year, and obviously everyone's a little bit grounded in the beginning of the year, so you may not quite feel it yet, but there's definitely a big shift into some new energies. And I wanted to remind you too to watch Magenta's video she just posted, because it brought some things I was getting this week into more clarity for me. It was a really long message that she received from the 9 from a meeting that she had done back in November, but she's posting it now. And she was talking about how the fact that the starseed, which was great because I brought up the energy of what starseed means before, but she was clarifying it as literally that there's a plasma stardust type of energy that literally is from the star that we originate from, that comes into our incarnation with us, that is activated when we start ascending, but is dormant until then. But it's literally called starseed because we're literally a piece of the star, not the planet, but the star system that we come from. And that Earth is becoming a star, which makes a lot of sense because I kept getting in my messages this week that the Mother Earth was opening up to become the star that you are. So it's coming up as your message as well as the Earth's message, becoming a star. And she said that the Earth is becoming a star. So a lot of confirmations for myself, but it was a really good detailed message. I'm probably going to listen to it again. So you might want to check that out. Let's go ahead and roll the die for this new year, 2023. Today's January 1st, 2023. And I'm going to try to get Aries done if I have enough energy after this video. Because it is the first sign and we are starting out the new year right now, I'd like to get Aries done today at least. All right, for the twins, we have the 3. So 3 is the coming together, enjoy, that happy-go-lucky energy. It's abundance, it's the Empress, it's the Earth, Terra Gaia energy. It's the 3 of March, which is excuse me, is Pisces going into Aries, which is that switch from one cycle to the next, which we're in right now for the new year. And we also have Saturn here, which is restrictions and that paternal energy of Capricorn, as well as Capricorn coming up again. But I'm getting this V8 or VS energy. Yeah, let me just take a second with that. I'm getting the V. The V is creation and the S and Sophia, but there's also a circle there, which is the sun, the 0 point field. And again, the central sun, Magenta talked a lot about this, the different suns infinitely, right? So it's the grandson, the great-grandson, as far as the central suns, they're infinite as well. The 0 point field, but I'm also getting the heart here, the creative heart, right? That we go into our creative heart, which then becomes the creative heart mind as opposed to the mind of the human. VS is also, VS is, a rating for a diamond. So somebody's getting a diamond here. Very beautiful. Okay, so again, the 3 is the Empress as well as Taurus. So Pisces goes into Aries, but Taurus is coming up as well with the Empress in March. I'm getting like letters. This is supposed to mean something. 3HVS. 3, and there's a cross here too, as well as an H or that loop. And the loop kind of looks like the reflection of the S over here. Someone's being creative about something. The 3. I don't know if you know what this symbol's supposed to mean in regards to the VS as far as a rating for a diamond or something. Yeah, please let me know if you're picking up on something in the comments. That might be helpful for somebody else as well. It's a really cute message. So let's go. So this is the first read. It's a 4-deck read. It's actually my traditional, the original 4-deck read I was doing. It is the Journey of Love, Nature's Whispers. We have Metatron here, and then Shaman Dreams over here. And I'm going to show you closer up. For those of you not familiar, it's the underlying energies over here. And then the cards I ended up having to count for a number because I'm very much into numerology over here. 3 cards are pulled from each. Sometimes there might be a 4th card because it was attached to the last 3 or 2, whatever it was. And here are the cards for this read. Okay, a little bit closer up so you can see better. Okay. All right, so this was done right after midnight because I wanted to give you some energy that came right in with the new year. And of course, today is January 1st. We have a lot of 1 energies today. We have the energy of the 9 for today. So we have the 1 of the Magician and the 9 of the Hermit, which is also the 1 in the All. All for one and one for all, very much that energy. And so again, it brings that 3 Musketeers into the 4 of D'Artagnan. Remember, the 4 is that lambda leap of the L of the lambda, and then the 1, which is dot to dot leap, okay? So we did these 4 decks at 12:12 last night, 12:12 for Journey of Love and 12:12 for Nature's Whispers. I cut Metatron at 12:13 and Shaman Dreams at 12:14. So the Hanging Man, the Death or Transition card, and the 14 of that Higher Love of the Temperance card. The Angel being patient and balanced and taking 1 step at a time. I did look up gematria to see what the number brought up. It came up 4116. And there was an entry. The first entry was this name, and I couldn't find anything online with this name. It was Thomas Siegfried Sassoon Ashley. Now, there is a Siegfried Sassoon that came up online, and there's other combinations that came up, but not that four-named name. So I don't know what that means. But Thomas Siegfried Sassoon Ashley and the Second Coming of Jesus Christ November. That's what the first entry was. And then from another Sassoon that wasn't the 4 names, it was describing that it means joy in Hebrew, actually. That was a Siegfried Sassoon. And Siegfried was thought to be from Mesopotamia, called Shushan, A and then 2 arrows like the greater than symbol, times 2 and then the N. And the ancestors were partly Persian. Sephardim, it was actually Sephardim, descended from the Jews of Spain, Portugal, and North Africa. So that's all I got from Gematria for you. But the number was 4116, which can reference the 4 and the 6 around the 11 of alignment, the 4 of the Emperor, the 6 of the lovers, or home and family and stability with the 4. 46 is also the 6 of Cups, the inner children loving each other. And it could also be the 41 and 16, which is the Ace of Cups of the Holy Grail, and the 16 of the Tower of the sudden events, the epiphanies, the sexual exchange of the lovers. So we start at 1240 here with the Hanging Man and the Page of Cups. So seeing new perspectives, being wise with an innocent heart. The underlying energy here of the number 2 we started out with here. And make sure you listen to the messages from today after this message. They were very significant today. The 2 within nothing, there's everything. Then the 3 came up of celebrating differences. 35 of the wounded warrior with the Kundalini. And then 34 of the King of the Hill with the lay of the land. In the earth's womb, the higher self, there is everything. The Empress, again, the energy of the earth becoming the star, birthing itself, like rebirthing itself, going the other way again. The Empress celebrity, or celebrating, being the celebrity as the star, that was a Freudian slip there. The Empress celebrating differences, the High Priestess and the Empress dance where land meets sea. And I'm getting the King of the Sea. The 35 of the wounded warrior Kundalini rising to feed the unicorn and dolphin, twins, in the mother's womb, as the King of the Hill in energetic exchange with the lay of the land, reaching up to the sky to the Kundalini rise. Then at 1251, which is the Hangman and the King of Swords, a whole bunch of underlying energies here. 16, 56, 43, 68, 55, 41, 30, 36, and 2. So a sudden heart of the moment and keeping to themselves in the dance of the planets as the bride comes together to offer herself. Funny that we're talking about the bride now with the ring. The Page of Pentacles is called to drop into their heart in acceptance of the truth of the enchanted forest, of knowing without knowing, and self-love, spiritual love, and new love of the Holy Grail in union of towering magnificence and the weight of the world of the cosmic butterfly, the higher self, that within nothing there is everything. The first card out here was the 28 of the Sacred Convergence of the Twin Flames, with 20 and 37 coming up next. I was getting batter up as the next one's up. The wake-up call to unconditional love, the sweet soul rising of fire and ice. So again, the sweet soul rising is like the earth birthing a child, right? Because the earth then would drop the child out into space somewhere. So the sweet soul's rising out into the etheric realms. There were 3, 1, and then 4 cards, which brings up 314 or pi, and there's March coming up again. And the leap between the Empress and the Emperor right there, with the cards 1, 49, 54, and 9. The heart fire of the divine masculine magician, getting their wish with the woman of light. The Page of Swords, Earth Angel, blanketing Hermit, Heart of God. And there's that energy of all for one and one for all again. One is self-satisfied with a message, from the heart fire to the light, to pulling up the blanket, the heart of God, with the underlying energy of the 36, 22, 43, and 3, with Atlas intuition, which remember intuition is the in-twit connection, the twin towers of you and I in connection, the Fool's leap of faith, coming together that love matters, with the Empress celebrating differences, where the first card here at 114, which is the magician or the divine masculine, and the 14 of that higher love of the angelic realms and the temperance card. The first card is the 34 of energetic exchange and vulnerability, the 29 of contemplation, and the 5 of clearing out the old. The energetic exchange of innocence and vulnerability present to contemplation of gifts and the freedom to transform from Sleeping Beauty to What If. The 7 of the little chariot, the warrior princess. Amplify your positive emotions here. And I was getting a relationship here to Diana. She was a Cancer, and I'd watched that, so there was definitely a relationship here. And I definitely got a different perspective in the show, and they're showing the vulnerability of putting herself out there and then having people turn away from her for having put her stuff out there, feeling that she could have kept that. Some of the stuff was coming from the ego, right? The need to be heard, right? To get confirmation or validity of self-worth. That kind of stuff was coming out, and really showed her vulnerability as a human being, as opposed to the emblem of a princess, you know, that she always had to be on the outside. And so this was at 116, which is the Divine Masculine and the Magician, and the 16 of the Tower moment. The 7 of that little chariot, Cancer Princess, to amplify your positive emotions. The underlying energy then was at 123, or 123 leap, or 1 of January, and the 23 of the year this year, the King of Wands. The 21 of the Indigo, 40 of Evolution, 33 of the Dimensional Gateway, and 35 of the Kundalini Rising. The whole world evolves to the innocent or Pisces heart, the Indigo birthing the new, an invite to the Christ consciousness. At the Golden Gate for the Wounded Warrior, Kundalini Rising, the Page of Cups, and the Wounded Warrior. The first card here is the 7 of Water for emotional well-being, the 14 of the Boundaries of patience and balance and a higher love of nature with auric keys and rays, arcs and steeples, and the 52 of the Queen of Swords, Big Bird, the masculine rainbow bridge to the golden wings. So it's coming up as the feminine with the masculine gut, basically. Very much the energy of a queen or a princess that needs to be in the public eye and be in their masculine all the time, but also growing their wings as a feminine. The Queen of Swords, Big Bird, and the masculine rainbow bridge coming into their golden wings with priorities and responsibilities, with one card here of the 26, the Page of Wands, of pink, self-love and nature, that life bulb of the womb, the rising of the Page of Cups to the Wounded Warrior, and the softening of the Page of Wands, Queen of Swords, Lady of Light, or the mother and daughter energy here. So again, it's the feminine who had to be too masculine to soften up, and the masculine who had to be too feminine, toughening up. So there's that energy of the twins coming together in different ways. At 133 of the leap, or the Divine Masculine, and into the 33 of the Christ vibration, the underlying energy of the 22 in the Fool's Embrace, in a leap of faith, in child's pose, cannonball style. So again, that energy of vulnerability in child's pose, and yet the cannonball of aggression at the same time. In child's pose, cannonball style, with superfly energy, right? So like an ET type of energy. And the 64 of the Woodwives, who are adaptable to both pain and bliss. The 43 of the Coming Together in joy, the overflow of the Taj Mahal, and the 39 of the Knight of Cups in a me tox, so having some time to yourself, to pamper yourself, and the 34 of the energetic exchange of the King of the Hill with the lay of the land. I was just getting Benny Hill, which is all about humor, right? So we have 142. (142) is, again, the masculine and the 42 of the Two of Cups, where the first card here were two together, 17 and 55, of stars and dreams, healing and truth, the eye of the needle of intent, from the top, seeing in the crack of the mountain. And it was very interesting because in The Crown, in the show that I'd watched, Charles had said to Diana that a man, she had commented something to him that, I'm glad at least you're happy now. And he said, a man with a failed marriage is never happy. It's like having a permanent crack in their mountain or rock. Like they'll never be completely happy for having failed. So here's that energy of that crack in the mountain. like the Liberty Bell, that will never heal in their eyes, as opposed to just allowing themselves to be perfectly happy because they finally have what they want. The energetic exchange of healing the farther gate, the intent to the bold step forward, at the top with ancestral wisdom, on the way up, feeling every crack in the sides, perfect for a little hideaway perhaps. So again, making trash into a treasure. So making the crack into something that's really great. The 16 of sudden events and the empty well, or sudden welling up, the need to fill up inside, time to replenish with some new water or fresh water. With then 3, 2, and 1 cards, which were 6 altogether, and that 3, 2, 1 jump energy in that leap of faith, of the number 9, 26, and 4, of the Hermit, the Page of Wands, and the Emperor. And the Page of Wands is coming up significantly too as the year 2026. The Hermit, the Page of Wands, and the Emperor. The Hermit dancing on one foot in a balancing act, dipping their toe in the well, inspiring a gathering round of community by the Emperor and their caterpillar or cat ER pillar of opportunity. The Hermit catching the Emperor's eye. So it's coming up like the Emperor and the Hermit with this energy between of opportunity, where the Hermit is catching the Emperor's eye, and the Benefactor and Watchers. And these are two very profound cards in this deck, the Shaman Dreams. They're both like the retired couples, who get to just watch and observe in this beautiful place. One couple is the benefactors. They're 3 and 60, which is the Empress, and the 6 of Swords, which is peace, or moving to peace, peaceful movement, where the Empress is peace, the cuddle buddies of grace and perhaps generosity in the mushroom, or that very cozy place, a place of abundance, of a lot of comfort there, at 157 of the Divine Masculine and separation. And then the other couple is the Taiyan totem couple of the Tiger Lioness in the desert, where the one is piggybacked on the other with a feather crown as opposed to the king's crown in the other card. The Tiger Lioness piggyback in the desert, each with different crowns, completely enjoying each other's company. Two perspectives come together in the Chariot. So again, this also can represent the way the different twins were raised, right? In two completely different ways, coming together. The key of the sacred covenant for the highest good of all. The collective truth, making sure to disclose all of your truth, to leave no shadows to darken the covenant of love. The abundant joy of comfort and the desert of peace of mind. And trusting the unwritten story, not knowing the end, but told line by line with faith and surrender. So then also Esther Williams came up again as that energy of synchronized swim, right, and synchronicities, but also Esther and the will of William. So Esther was coming up here, Williams, to break down, and the energy of S of Sophia, and then Esther also has her in it, and then Williams has will and also I ams, right? So the sine wave of the E star and will, I am, Sophia's throne also comes up here, and E's path of God, the one equal and congruent to the other. And will, her will. So it literally translates Esther Williams as her will, I am Sophia. So it was really like Sophia coming in very strongly here. That it is the feminine energy taking control right now. And again, the energy of compassion, of the easy pass connection, and the energy of, remember, resistance and attachment is allowance and release, the flow and surrender to ease and grace, of will and grace. And those were the energies that were coming through right there. So Esther Williams, as this was 2:14 last night, 2 o'clock in the morning, the 2 of the Divine Feminine, the 14 of that higher love, of Esther Williams in synchronized swim, of the EST, which is the path, her will, I am Sophia. But it was also coming up starting with an E, which is east, and ending with the S, which is south, one equal and congruent to the path of her will. I am Sophia. E star, Esther, and then Esther is also ESTAR, which is throne, right? The Sophia's throne, and Eve's star, E's path of God's will. I am Sophia of willing and surrender, to flow and surrender with ease and grace. And again, that was coming in very powerfully. So then this morning, when I got up, and by the way, before I went to bed and I pulled some of my Wild Unknown cards, the Eagle and the Nightingale were coming up together. And Ellie was coming up, and then a lot of L's were coming up in my Instagram pics as well. And the elk was coming up as well. The blue camel and the red elk. So there's that blue versus red energy. And the eagle and the nightingale. And that was very sweet. The eagle was like coming down, diving. And the nightingale is that energy of the sweet baby's breath, calling them in. So what was coming through with those energies was EA and God. And the right angle, one equal and congruent to the show of power of God's height. GA was coming through, which is Georgia, but it also means the ox and the bull, the cow, the jackrabbit, what, why, the geese sound as they go south, the letter G, which can represent God, the skunk, as I lost my voice a little bit there, the train station or terminal comes up for GA as well as lighter fluid, and I think different gases came up there a little bit too. To walk, move, start, to set up a collapsible device or something that can be moved again quickly. To open up, to go, spread out, or tickle or play a joke on someone. To be tall, rise above, transcend, to stand aloof. Be fed up, leg, quarter, kava, earth, land, radius. And then the spear, dart, or sting. And duck, and sitting duck came up when I read duck. Metal, many, saddle, to poke, peel, and rain. And also GA is code for Irish, but then I looked up GL, which was then Galatian, which is Gaelic. So there's a lot about Irish that was coming up, and then good luck, okay, which is a very Irish thing too. So there's a lot about Ireland coming up right there. The eagle and the Irish, and then that brought me to Michael Sala and Elena, because she's French, but she lives in Ireland. And he always comes up as the eagle. That's his symbol. Triggering fear and reflecting swans with the camel and the elk, which is that blue and the red, and the turtle who's slow, and then no man left behind in the collective awakening. That the snake or the Kundalini awakening, the collective awakening, is all sealed up here. The U.S. to Georgia, whether that's the country Georgia or the state Georgia or Georgia on his mind, or to Ireland too, the collective awakening and coming full circle. The mouse is hiding in the dark, and the cobra teacher comes in or sees them, realizing they're sensitive. The lizard is seeking the elephant for comfort and protection, because they're very sensitive to crowds and need some one-to-one time. So this is where some of the teachers are being called not to so much look for groups, but to look for individuals, the outliers, the stragglers who are kind of falling behind because they're extra sensitive and maybe they need one-to-one work as opposed to a group. And again, that energy of no man left behind. So finding the stragglers with the elephant, and the otter, the peacock, lion, and fish were coming up. The elephants are coming, which came up the other day. Clearing with each step, weathered and beat up, but keep going with no man left behind, right? The elephants are not going to allow anyone to be left behind, no matter how beat up they are, like the wounded warrior. The hummingbird whispers to the elephant, clearing the air, or sending them messages, making the otter curious about what more there is out there. You'd never know that the elephant is the peacock, beautiful within and out, and that the hummingbird whispering is the lion and the king of the jungle, or that the curious otter is actually a fish out of water and maybe overconfident at times, needing help. At 105 is the divine mouse and magician, and the 5 of freedom, change and expansion, but also the Hierophant there of commitment and guidance. So again, guidance counselor coming up here. The underlying energy of justice, truth, balance, alignment, and Libra energy with the judge, where the devil waves as the Knight of Pentacles makes an offer to the King of Cups, Dark Knight, or Scorpio perhaps, where justice or Libran or Capricorn waving and reaching out to the King of Cups, Scorpio, or Capricorn Knight of Cups waves goodbye to Libra to help King of Cups, Scorpio, or both reaching out to the Page of Cups and the King of Wands. Justice of Capricorn and Scorpio moving towards the Page of Cups and the King of Wands, or maybe the Page of Cups is just his loving response. And the Queen of Pentacles, who's very pleased with themselves or just happy with themselves. Perhaps Libra Capricorn is helping the King of Cups, Scorpio here. And the Page of Cups very much could be Pisces energy as well, or child or pet. Getting to Pisces or child, or to pick them up, the King of Wands with a loving message, and the Queen of Pentacles happy with themselves, coming full circle with the King of Pentacles magician, or the Page of Cups in the Divine Feminine, or is the Divine Feminine or Pisces, or an innocent neighbor perhaps. The King of Wands maybe is the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is the Magician, or Virgo, and satisfied by the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth, or perhaps deliveries here. There could be a death or an ending that must come together now to take care of things, or two groups come together here. The King of Wands may be sweet, the Queen of Pentacles may be satisfied, and the King of Pentacles coming full circle with the world, the neighborhood, the Divine Feminine, and or Pisces, in manifesting the right information to come in, as the Queen of Cups is focusing on her heart, along with the Page of Cups and all between them. And that could be like bookends of mother and child as well, helping to heal everyone between them. With the King of Swords and then the Page of Swords next to them, or the King of Swords messaging to partner up, or the Queen of Cups and Page of Cups with the King of Swords and the Page of Swords to go on the road together to inspire and to be inspired, or together travel to the Page of Wands or to 2026. With Libra, Capricorn, Scorpio, perhaps Pisces, Gemini, or Virgo, perhaps Aries and Cancer there. The Empress invites the Sovereign's offer, like invites them to give them an offer, or the Sovereign Nine of Pentacles is offering to help or give an opportunity or teach the Page of Pentacles, maybe take a student or child under their wing, under the mother's guidance or a female boss, with the Knight of Cups offer of love that sets them free, as the Queen of Swords speaks her truth. Perhaps to the Queen of Wands, lover of the Emperor, or the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands may both have a great affection for the Emperor. The Six of Cups children may be offering love to the High Priestess, higher self, Pisces, Virgo, or an aid to the Emperor, or sister unable to sleep, or has been stressed out, or maybe purging, or the Empress's side and the Emperor's side in different piles here. The Queen of Swords trying to talk to the Queen of Wands, who keeps looking to the Emperor for a reply. Or the Empress offers the Emperor X and his new person or girlfriend info or advice for children or soulmate and or sister, mother or aid, perhaps someone who's suffering in silence or can't sleep and trying to end their nightmare. Or perhaps this is two gay women trying to get the parents on board with their relationship at 127, which is the Magician and the Ace of Wands. So I'm not quite done with this message, but let me show you the picture of those cards because I didn't show you that. Where did they go? Okay. So here were the cards that I pulled for that message that was just coming out, if you'd like to see them. So it's just the Wild Unknown guidebook and then the half deck of the Rider-Waite with just the people. And it came out, they were pulled out these four and then over here, and then that's where it went into this pyramid style, and then it went to this pile, and then this was the final piece. Okay, so that was this first one here. So if you want to look to see if you see any messages for yourself. So the hermit shed light, and the wounded warrior may be defensive to the hermit, but then that wounded warrior might come actually riding in as the Knight of Wands and saying it worked. So something they told them, they may be defensive to it initially, but then realized it worked. Or maybe they're calling them to come in right away and someone's really irritated by that, but they come anyway. Or the wounded warrior is annoyed, they want them to come in to take a look at something. Perhaps the Queen of Swords with Mother is Hermit, and the Queen of Wands with Father is the wounded warrior or Sag with Gemini Emperor, perhaps with Pisces and or a child or children there. Or the Empress wants the ex-emperor to set up funds for the children, perhaps like their parents did, and a new girlfriend may be totally annoyed by this, or being asked to come take a look down there, or at the long way down, right, to avoid a long way down or a fall. So this second message I got this morning, which was the same type of deal where I never got to the other decks because the message came out from those decks that I'd put out already. So I put out the Journey of Love, and then the Wild Unknown again, and then my Rider-Waite half deck again, and it went into this message here. So let me see if I know what order it was here. All right, so it went across like this first with the 3 cards here. And then 3 cards ended up going down into this pyramid. And then it went over this way. So it was, so that was that deck. And then I went into the Rider-Waite deck. And that was the 3 cards that came out. The underlying energy here was the 6 of Cups. So it went from here to here to here. I think these were the final ones. Yeah, I went over here and then these 2 over here. But you'll hear, I'll be telling you the cards as I go. And again, for the underlying energies to the left and the cards I had to count to the right initially, but then it brought out another message that I had to put cards out for. So the Journey of Love was done at 146, and then the underlying energy for the other deck was the 46 of the 6 of Cups. So the Divine Masculine, the Magician card energy, and the 46 of the Loving Children. The Journey of Love had 2 cards come out at the end. The Wild Unknown Animal Guidebook was 3 cards at the end. The half deck of the Rider-Waite was 3 cards at the end, so 2, 3, 3 came up. I didn't actually look that up. Well, let's do that now real quick since that's easy enough. All right, so 2, 3, 3 in the gematria. Let's see what it says. I don't think I looked it up. So the first entry is just gematria, and then Messiah and then luck. So there's luck again with the Irish, and then the horse, which comes up in this read. And the number 444 twice at the top there. So the angelic realms there coming up. So luck of the horse, the Messiah. Doris comes up there too. Doris Day came up recently. So kind of that happy-go-lucky energy. The underlying energy of the 5 of the communal dance came up here with the eagle, and then the 6 of Cups, the beautiful innocent children. After the New Year's freedom of everyone going out New Year's Eve, the eagle dives into the 6 of Cups, sweet children, or soul ties, and fond memories here. So again, Auld Lang Syne and all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting too, because the message prior to that, or last night, was also the eagle diving. At 153 of the Magician of the Divine Masculine and the 53 of the Knight of Swords, the underlying energy here was the 2 of, again, within nothing there's everything, which came up prior to this today. The womb of the earth and the 28 of the sacred convergence in the waters or the ocean around the 9/11 memorial and the islands of Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. The 20 of the wake-up call to the sweet soul rising from the earth, birthing something new. And again, remember that the towers that went down were Trump towers. The earth birthing and the 2 of Cups blood dance here, of the 65 of the King of Pentacles, which can definitely represent Trump not as a president, but as a businessman. And then the breaking of the King of Pentacles in the vortex. And again, that purification of ego with the communal dance around the egg of ground zero. So it's very much the message I was getting around this stuff coming up now was that while everybody was distracted by whatever celebrations were going on, this was an opportunity for some leaders to go in, but they were benevolent leaders going in to get some stuff done and cleared in the area. And there was tunnels coming up underneath New York as well, being cleared. At 201 is the High Priestess and the One of the Masculine and the Magician. So the masculine and the feminine, with a space between. The first card here of the 10, which is that high vibe destiny, and from source to human energy, of the 3 to 1, where the 2, or TO, is the top dog and the human. So again, that God-man energy. Creating peace in the vortex, the tunnels underground, the 5 and dime, or the 5 and 10, of the freedom fighters and writers, and the crack in the Liberty Bell. As Lady Liberty's crown opens to the altar, above her, the Atlantis altar, a community leap of faith causing the 51 King of Swords to dream a little, right? Open up to his feminine side, placing their power in their heart. And I was getting the shelf of where the Mediterranean meets the Atlantic Ocean. And again, the Atlantic altar, the Atlantic Islands, which was Atlantis, were actually islands. The 3, 2, 1, love, where 3, 2, and 1 equals 6, of love, family, and community. And the TO of the top dog and the human, or God and man, all for one and one for all, of freedom, change, and expansion. And the Taurus North Node. And the high vibe I want to say destiny here, but it's density that wants to come out. The high vibe density of the 4th density as opposed to the 3rd, and the 5D of dimensional, or Libra King of Swords, perhaps with a dream, as Martin chimes in. 39, and again, Martin Luther King. So there's that King energy again. The 39 of the Knight of Cups, let the feminine lead the way, is coming in from Martin Luther King, with a handle on the snake, because she is the snake charmer. Where 2 cards came up here, 41 and 62, the Ace of Cups and the 8 of Swords. At 208, the feminine and the dance, with space between. Where Mary Magdalene, Hercules, Holy Grail energy comes up, and remember Hercules is her harvest, with a choice to make, prison or release. So again, imprisonment has to do with anxiety and thoughts, as opposed to freedom, rings. The underlying energy of the 2 and the 9 of the feminine and the all of the hermit. The hyena slithering away after the deer one, the doe-eyed one, saw the scorpion sting, and the elk hothead or redhead. So this can be the scorpion seeing the elk hothead, which can represent Trump, so it's a redhead energy. But the elk comes up as the one who's the great man, except when he's not eating properly, and then he's a real ass. So, and eating can represent ingesting anything, whether it's food or what you watch, what you hang out with. There's all different energies there, right? So the deer one, the doe-eyed one, the really innocent, sweet energy that's clear here, sees the scorpion sting the elk, hothead or redhead, or saw the elk's stinger come out when they hadn't seen it before, triggering the elk to phoenix rising with a great burning off of the root energies, a shock, a jump, a jolting, a leap of faith, where the hyena is seen now as dark and light, not just one or the other, as the cobra comes in on high alert with fox, bee, and nightingale, or the fat lady sung, and the cheetah came calling right away. So there's that energy of the Knight of Wands coming right away when they were called out of the blue, to see the eagle take a dive. So the elk stood up for themselves, The elk stood up for themselves, chasing the scorpion and or hyena away at mid-moon, which is now. When the student is ready, the teacher comes with loyal fox, hard-working bee, the nightingale to clear the air with baby's breath, and the cheetah to jump right in at a moment's notice or on call. The first responders come in to see Phoenix rise as the eagle dives again. While all were distracted, the eagle could get in there. The nightingale is in on it, right, because they're really innocent, no one would suspect, waited with bated breath. Where the first card here is the lion and the bear as the leaders awaken from their slumber to the power of reflection, and the swans as the divine feminines wrangle, gaining their attention of a few good men. The moth to the flame as the whale clears the deep sea with the unicorn 5D gate holders, honors and protect with galactic federation and confederate ships with psychic communications. Ships in the sun and arcs deep down. Hummingbirds whisper to the high priestesses or higher selves to clear the ethers as the sirens went off at 224, which is the divine feminine and the Queen of Wands, or the Omega energy of crowning oneself. Then the otter, curious kids, along with the sensitive lizard and the anxious rabbit, leaving the tiger year behind as we're going into the rabbit. The hawk clears the runway or landing strip at the crossroads for the crow ground crew, the 3D gate holders going the crow's distance. The moth to the flame, the hawk to the ground, and I was just getting like a jet hawk to the ground, the earthworm protected by the peacock and camel in moody blues, or vulnerable kids, both high vibrational and moody in the dark. And then a fire truck came in at 2:30, which is the divine feminine and the union. And the firemen, again, the first responders coming in, feeling an island to themselves. So again, there's children perhaps in the same family where one might be very high vibrational and happy all the time, and another one very moody in the dark, feeling like an island to themselves, perhaps going through dark night of the soul. Again, the energy of starseeds and twins. But again, what Magenta was saying is that everyone is basically a starseed, because if you're human, you have that dormant energy of the star system that you're from in your incarnation. It's just dormant until you awaken it. But this energy was coming up as the walk-ins, who are really have that consciousness of the ETs coming into the human body, right, as opposed to going through the whole human experience. They come in with this higher level energy to deal with large groups really easily. And there's a lot of young people with that energy. And that's who I see as the term that people are calling starseeds, as opposed to the twins, which have come in to do the actual physical body work of going through the human experience and clearing from the ground up, where the starseeds or the walk-ins come in top down, right? They literally just come in as an ET energy to help lead the way. So it was coming up as descendants drop-ins and transcendents through the muck, their own stuff, the right stuff. So again, the energy of the twins going through their human experience to clear the very difficult clearing in order to bridge back together. And it's very much that energy too of the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups, with all the energy in between as the twins come together to clear the way to each other, and do it by going through the human experience. The 232 of the divine feminine and high priestess or higher self, the 32 of the fool and the fool's journey, and the underlying energy of the 6 of cups, that the fool is free as the Queen of Swords speaks of suffering and silence, or perhaps of a sister, of the stress, the pain, the anxiety, and the nightmares to end. And then the wounded warrior on guard, protecting their old wounds, like licking their wounds, that are of no significance to you now, as the lovers of the beloved 6 of Cups, the innocent love, and the one of the Empress and the Emperor standing side by side in the chariot, the feminine within the masculine, ascending here. The mother-father energy, The lion and the bear reflect and ascend together in 2023. The Queen of Cups, higher self, and the King of Swords with a message to the world and to the King of Pentacles leaders at 246, the divine feminine or higher self, which can represent a masculine as well, and the 46 of the innocent children within and without. Or Cancer and Pisces, Queen of Cups, High Priestess or higher self, and or Virgo, King of Swords, also with Aquarius and or Pisces child, coming full circle to master manifestation and responsibilities. Mastering thoughts to clear the way, to be authentic to oneself and be natural, to master manifestation. Where the Queen of Cups focuses on her heart of emotions, sadness, and anger, and the King of Swords focuses on his mind and his thoughts, his stress and his anxieties, all his fears. To bring a message to the world of innocence, kindness, and purity, and nature, being natural to yourself. To be the master of your own world. As temptation waves, or you swear to God, as the King of Wands watches, the divine masculine's ball and chain wave goodbye. Dark night, death, ending, or change ensues. The walk of the dead, or dead man walking, towards the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, learning from each other, and the gold coin, where coin, C-O-I-N, is also another way of spelling Kohan, C-O-H-A-N, and the ancient ones, the co-pilots, choosing a path with world in right hand and magic wand in left. Even Santa calls his wife mother as she nurtures the spirit. She gives her gold coin away to her child of her own free will, and then must find herself again to gain it back. She comes in with pink and gold, and he with green and gold. He heals the physical body, and she the etheric bodies, and both must be integrated. He and she can stay balanced, or he into ego, and she into servitude. Both of their feminines must keep their masculine egos in check, while she gains back her gold coin after going to silver sword and back, pulling the swords out of the stone, to gain back her knowing of who she really is and her connection to source, to keep the ego in check. She must remain the mother. She must remain the mother and serve, and he the father to protect and serve, to keep the balance of everyone doing what they love to do, with love and truth, the collective truth, which requires meditation to understand the whole, at 302 of the Empress and the 2 of the higher self. Lady Liberty frees herself by speaking of the wounds of the passionate body and the ego mind, and then of the lover and the beloved and the twins entwined, at 303 of 2 in abundance with space between. The sovereign Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles then inspire and are inspired by the innocent love of the King of Cups, self-satisfied by the Knight of Swords' message or delivery, or the Nine of Pentacles sovereign with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles supporting the Page of Wands to come together with the Page of Cups, with support of the King of Cups, emotionally sovereign with the Nine of Cups, to get the message. The Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands then can find justice, or then see the Knight of Swords' worth as the master magician with wand and the hermit with the light. United we stand, shedding light, or that unity of one-to-one connection of the soul. The 2 kundalinis rising for the ego to then soar. The lion with wings and the RLS lion eagle dog came up this week. So again, that's the Armenian energy that came up in my meditation the other day that led me to Mount Ararat, or Ararat, I'm not sure how it's pronounced still. So then I was guided to the energies of the animal that were coming up in this mythical creature, right? Or so-called mythical creature. So I definitely was getting lion, perhaps tiger, dog energy, but there's also winged energy with the eagle or the angel, and then the horse was coming up for me as well here. And it was coming up as, you all know the lion is ego, the eagle is coming up as the angelic realms, and the dog is God in reverse. So I was being guided to look up the definitions of all these words reversed to understand the God energy behind that, of the lion, dog, eagle or angel, and horse. And then regarding the ego of the lion and the horse, right? Because definitely ego there. And then the soul of the eagle soaring and the angel. And then the energy of the dog, which reversed is God. So it was very, very interesting, the words that came up, because of course we know dog is God. That's easy. And then lion is Noil, N-O-I-L, which was very interesting because the first, it didn't come up right away. The letters reversed. So what came up in Wiktionary was an expression, ni olvido, ini pardon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it meant never forget nor forgive, which on the God side would have been always forget and always forgive. But I looked up Noil again, and there was a word Noil, N-O-I-L, and it means raw silk, or the short fiber that gets left behind as they're spinning wool or silk, right? So it's just the leftovers, right? The trash. And then eagle reversed is LG, which is so funny because my kid's pediatrician's name was LG. And she was the most amazing pediatrician ever. So it's this really beautiful energy of LG. But there's more meanings, of course, that come up with that. And then angel reversed is Legna, and LGE, because there was no word ELGAE, but ELGE is the elk and moose, but more so the moose, which is the animal that lives in twos as opposed to the elk, which live in groups. And Legna literally translates as that which is collected. And so what's another way of saying that which is collected? The collective. Okay, so it was really interesting the way the messages were coming through here. Also, ego is OGE, which is eye, or the ability to see, the eye of the needle, also the eye in the peacock's tail, fashion, style, beautification, as well as consciousness, being fashion conscious in a positive way though here. And then the Egyptian plover bird also came up. And then soul reverse is LUOS, which reduces to Lui, L-U-I, which has lots of different definitions, including lazy, to melt, dissolve, dugong, which is a sea animal, to step back, recede, retreat, to fall, look, think back, to abate, decrease, or to postpone. So the way these all came through was very interesting. So ego, soul, God, which also for me is ED for extra dimensional, but also Mr. Ed, or the horse. Ego, soul, God is the ability to see from the peacock's tail, to melt, flow, fall, retreat, be lazy, look back, postpone, like a dog who is unconditionally loved. So again, like a dog who's a peacock, who gets lots of good attention, to have the perspective of someone who knows what love is and are willing to receive it. So the lion, eagle, and the dog, and then the lion, angel, and the dog I also did. The messages came through as, for Noil, LG, and God, which is lion, eagle, dog backwards, the energy of the discarded, the moose, and God, the Elohim ray, field, and offering of joy. And then Noil, Legna, or angel backward, and God, was the unexpected treasure in the collective God, right? Because the fibers that were left over from spinning silk or wool is trash, right? But of course, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So it's very much coming up as the energy of the unexpected treasure found in the collective God. So then I looked at Arales backwards again. Again, that's the animal. That's the lion, dog, eagle, angel, horse, or whatever it is. And so it's coming up as lion, eagle, or angel, dog. But the horse was coming in here too. And that backwards is Zalera. And there was no Zalero with an A on the end, but there was with an E on the end, which is Zelo, which is to love ardently or zealously, to devotedly take care of. And if you break it down, Arales is AR, which we just realized is the definition of God of Armenia, because that just came up in the last video. And then EL, of course, is Elohim. And then EZ means I or self, which was so funny the way this came through. Because if you say EL, it's EL. That's the word yell. And if you say EZ, it's easy, right? And then AR, of course, is R. And if you say R yell easy, and you say it fast, it comes up as are you lazy? Which was one of the definitions up here. So R is God, L is Elohim, and then EZ is I, or easy. The ET creators of humans, of the Raelian gods, is the Elohim. So again, it's coming up as God, angels, and I am. Also is coming up as Zeal, Z-E-L-E, and Ra, which is endless devotion, intense love or concern of Ra, or Re. And then, of course, horse backwards, as I brought up before recently, is Ezra. And if you spell Ezra, E-Z-R-A, it's literally Easy Ray. And also I, Ra. So all of this energy comes up as this very significant creature. All right, the lion, dog, eagle, angel, horse, or whatever you want to see. But it is this mixture of energies, and very profound at that. And Esther was coming up there too. So you might want to feel into that animal, and you can look up the pictures, right? There's some pictures that look very much like a lion with a dog's face, which is what I resonated with most, and others look more like a dog, like a kind of an Asian style dog. But you can look. And again, from my meditation, I was getting it in different ways. I was first seeing it as a huge lion, tiger, dog type of energy, which can bring up that horse type energy as well. Walking around, becoming the puma, and then becoming the puma, like pug dog, hiding behind the rock, which brought up the story about Mount Ararat as well. But there were two different, one was the person, I forget what the name is. But anyway, they were both AR names, and they both came together in the same story for whatever reason. But that's the way I was guided to them. So let's go back to the 7-deck read here that's on the table. And I'll show you that picture. All right, where are you? Okay, so here's the read on the table. This is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. Okay, and then the whole 7-deck read that you see is here. That's the whole 7-deck read. Sorry about the light. And this was done at 7 o'clock last night. Actually 7:02. 7 is the Chariot, 2 is the High Priestess or Divine Feminine energy. And again, this was for the New Year's energy here. At 7:11, F crystals came up, which F for me is Digamma, or the Twin Flame energy, the expanding or contracting or staying in the middle, reflecting. And then Ion also came up, which is connection, and the I on things. At 7:28, and I realized that it's a 7-year, and my power number is 7, so I didn't realize that before, so that was kind of cool. I started watching a movie last night, White Noise, which was terrible. It was just like nonstop talking the whole time, which may have been the point of the movie, but it was kind of irritating. At 7:28 is the 7 again of the Chariot and the 28 of the Twin Flames, or Choice of Path. And the major arcana here was the Shadow, the Reason, or the Emperor, and the Hanging Man. The Shadow is the Devil card. And before the read was the Indigo, or Magician, and then the higher self, which is that high priestess type of energy. After the read was the guidance or Hierophant, and then ascension, which is the world. We had the King of Cups in the read and the Queen of Cups in the read, as well as the Nine of Wands wounded warrior. And then after the read was the Page of Cups, so all the Cups energies came up there. And then the numbers, 777s and 444s, which 444s is that Hercules energy of the Four of Cups and the Divine Feminine social worker type of energy. And then the 777s of that good luck or hitting the jackpot. And then we have 910 begin again, 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, loyal humble servant, and 234 shut the door. We also have 46 of the Six of Cups, and 79 for me, which is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and 47, which is synchronicities, that 4 to 7 heart to crown, sweet spot, and of course lots of options and seeing heaven in your eyes. And remember, 910 begin again, always coming back to the center as soon as you get knocked off balance. The code line, there were no numerology cards there that came up on the code line, but the number 7 was the main number there. So again, the 7, the key, the calm before the storm, the year that it is, 7 this year. And the messages were like this. It was very much about Sophia, but also south and north. So we might be talking about the south node in Scorpio and the north node in Taurus. And the energy of Sophia and sudden events, or perhaps southeast, or seeing something. One of two twins, wise, clear queen, to dig, grub, burrow, the shadow, grandmother, the hermit, food, or something that's not fair or even, the man, contents, perhaps the divine feminine's heart, and this could be Christed energy or northern energy coming up here, or that north node of Taurus. The also Uganda could be coming up here. 7, the number 7 again, and the 7th beat could be coming up. Sudden events, seeing southeast, or just seeing in general. 1 of 2, someone might have had a mastectomy here, or just the 1 of 2, the twins being wise to burrow and reap the rewards of going north, or the north node, or the Christ energy here, dealing with the shadow and the hermit here, the man, the contents, the grandmother, the food, things not being even or fair or right, and the divine feminine's heart here of reaping rewards of the north node of north, or the Christed energy, which actually the feminine energy can be considered the higher self of the masculine, which would then be the Christed self. So Uganda comes up here, and then southeast also coming up. 1 of 2, and the 0 point, or the human condition, the 1, the tail, the someone, clearly digging, the shadow man, the hermit, and reaping rewards, perhaps daydreaming, of the Christ energy, or of going north, or of the north node in Taurus, and having things go their way. Sophia, the shadow, 7, south, salt. Sema also came up, which is sky, heaven, and to sleep. It's also the woman, the wife, to exist. And also the star, ladder, and suite came up. Sophia and 7th heaven also came up, and the star. So again, the energy of the earth becoming a star, and that being the star that you are, because you actually are a star seed, literally. And the energy to exist, to have, to own, the twin clear, to dig here. The shadow's show of power, and the Christ divine feminine's heart. And I was getting to someone like saying Christ, the divine feminine's heart, Christ, like how am I going to deal with this? Or the grandmother reaps the rewards of Christ, or of going north. So south to north, or again, like I said, the north and south nodes, but also the energy of Uganda and the Sisi Islands with issues of HIV and promiscuousness, drug abuse and rape. They have a big problem with HIV there. The islanders are very mobile, and they're very good at spreading the virus. I'm not sure why that was coming up right now, but it is. From south to north, and CC AIDS, 1 of 2 stars, wise to burrow or to dig. The shadow not even, or not fair, or inequitable, reaping rewards, north. Or shadow grandmother, or man reaping rewards of the Christ consciousness, or going north, the north node, so maybe reaping the rewards of being in Taurus energies. So the King of Cups here, the King of Cups starts out the read upright, and below the King of Cups is the indigo reversed, the Six of Cups upright, the Seven of Cups reversed, the Seven of Wands upright, and the higher self reversed. So the indigo reversed, insecure without tools, or perhaps just in this deck not proposing, because there is a proposal in that card, or planning on proposing but not quite yet. Maybe manipulative or just no proposal right now, and the Six of Cups upright, dumping emotional attachments or repeating steps, and standing up for oneself with a secret passion or the need for integrity or secrecy, or not engaging in gossip with the King of Cups upright, or unconditional love. With soulmates, kids, coming downstairs or repeating steps, to rise above secrets that may be out, with the King of Cups upright, Atlas, working hard. And this could be someone either working hard for the King of Cups, or that he has worked very hard to get where he is in this place of unconditional love and calmness, or perhaps defending themselves to the higher self. The King of Cups may be married or in a religious family of wealth, or just that married with children energy, with Gemini, Pisces reversed, and Taurus upright here, dumping multiple loads to receive a big offer from the Knight of Pentacles going back, hanging out with the Page of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright to implement a plan to marry, commit, or give guidance, or with Taurus upright to get over themselves. Drowning in the Dead Sea, all water is gone, but they have the Hierophant's blessing. Those who were in servitude are implementing perhaps their own businesses now. So those who are in servitude to like a big company or to a religion or a big establishment are now going into their sovereignty and starting their own businesses, getting over any losses or regret, and no longer in a rat race, or investing in God, religion, establishment, or Taurus or societal norms to get over a loss, regret, or past guilt or shame. The Knight of Pentacles offering services and willing to do overtime, since the Queen of Swords reverse is not working or perhaps messed up, and maybe they have to catch up because they spent too much money, or maybe they messed up or dropped their act or their facade, or is now at least breaking patterns because maybe the error was caught in time. The streetcar named Desire could be coming up, as well as box cutters under the bed, or not working out with the Queen of Swords reversed, so dropping the juggling act at 8:51, which is the dance or strength of manifestation of the King of Swords. So retreat and expressing your love came up right there. At 8:52, with the dance of the Queen of Swords, the Devil castrated, trying to mark their territory, and the Five of Cups reversed, getting over the postman's delivery. Deception of the Nine of Pentacles sovereign, obsession over splitting hairs, over the Magician reversed, who may be out of control and hangry from not eating right, or up early obsessing over their hair or split ends, refusing to be chopped liver, or to lose or give away their powers of manipulation, or up all night trying to raise the dead, to catch up on lobster and pearl, and the one who died of a broken heart, or cutting cords or codependencies, or perhaps, listening to a lot of videos, trying to catch up on things, and deceptive patterns of behavior or eating, or just feeling really insecure without tools of the trade. With Capricorn upright and Cancer or Gemini reversed, or Virgo or Aries perhaps, with time out here and manifestation, to implement a plan to disconnect or distance oneself from the Knight of Swords reversed, or perhaps nasty messages, or perhaps a liar or someone who's verbally abusive, or perhaps just has very harsh words. At 9:03, which is the Hermit and the Empress, perhaps in separation from the King of Cups here, right? Or wanting to separate themselves from the King of Cups. But he's upright. He's not the one who's being verbally abusive. The worst is over. or blissful juggling with the Three of Cups party or emotional affair, or dependence party with lots of energetic exchange while out, or hours of love, or lots of communication or traveling back and forth while they were out, visiting or perhaps dealing with a move, or having like someone expecting to take care of this until it's accomplished. But this is someone like in that Five of Swords energy, you know, they're ready to take down the field. No matter what it takes, they're going to get this done. Bunnies are unstable or perhaps afraid, worried the sheep will get wiped out, erased one at a time without a thought, or watching a movie about a big cloud destroying the people, which came up in that movie last night, which definitely was coming up in these cards, or taking out lambs one at a time, or counting sheep until your mind shuts up, or until the last one leaves at 9:09. Again, no man left behind comes up there as well. Conquering the King of Cups, getting over loss, breaking patterns of manipulation of the King of Cups, or conditions of love. But he's upright, so he's not coming up with conditions. Perhaps it took him a lot to get there, because maybe he was very conditional before this. And we have Leo upright and Libra reversed right here. After twin flame sunshine, happiness, or vacation, or exposing all issues at work, in the downturn or twist of fate, and starting over in love, there is going forward after this read is separation, heartbreak, or disappointment at present, or with a gift. Disappointment, right? That could be disappointment with a gift that they received. Maybe they thought they would get a better bonus at the holidays and they didn't. Or just bored and grounding integrating the same old love offers with the Empress reversed, who may be exploding or pissed off all the time at 9:37, which is the Hermit and the King of Cups again, or Taurus reversed with Scorpio upright. I was getting this energy of the poles flipped in the north and south nodes. So where Taurus is in the north node right now and Scorpio is in the south, here it was coming up flipped the other way around. With the recent past of the Reason or the Emperor, with the Ten of Cups, unhappy family, or the ending of an emotional cycle of unhappiness, and a big offer of time, money, and effort of a new life to dump emotional attachments or multiple loads, with Star or Dream Girl and in need of justice, or Aquarius upright and Libra reversed, in a separation and insecure without their tools, unable to manifest, or just insecure about a big move, or travel, or in ascending, or in the Ascension community. And then the Four of Swords reversed, unable to sleep and rising above, or awakening and coming out, or not sleeping with someone. In bliss, coming clean about manipulation or insecurities of the King of Pentacles reversed, who's all about the money or the stuff and status. The Emperor not resonating with the King of Pentacles reversed, manipulator, and the foundation of clarity or new information about the fallen angel. The Empress reversed, or her bad temper at work, and now free from that. So at 9:49, which is the Hermit and the Nine of Cups of getting your wish or self-satisfaction, the central energy in this read is the Three of Wands upright. Being present in the moment with your gifts, present to your flame and gifts in a split or divide, or the Page of Swords reversed with lies and or spying or negative self-talk or rumors of not being able to choose. The Six of Cups, or choose a new path, but unable to implement due to kids or a soulmate, or fond memories and stressed out, or trying to get over a nightmare, a sister, suffering in silence, inability to sleep, obsessing for a long, long time here, and now can't get flame out of their head. The challenge being here is the shadow, the devil, an addiction, or Capricorn, or the shadow web, and the Queen of Cups reversed with the Nine of Pentacles upright, independent, or getting all their money, right? They may be worried that other person will get all their stuff. With the Queen of Cups reversed, standing up for self, to out-of-control kids who may not be sleeping, and the Page of Cups offering a message of love, in between bouts or nightmares, stress, and perhaps someone's bipolar here. Or the Page of Cups may be stressed out, trying to please the Queen of Cups reversed, who may be emotionally manipulative here, or maybe she drinks, or is depressed. In a bold move or travel without a leg to stand on, though, in a flirtation with a group or multiple people, sitting on the fence, at the gate with sweet tweets and feng shui, perhaps a magnet, scissors, coin, or no longer sleeping with karmic, or having sex in the chair, in the downturn, or things just not turning in their favor, in the Two of Cups connection, in a disconnect or at a distance, with fallen angel or someone with a bad temper, losing their patience with secret passion, or Pisces reversed, needing to use their intuition or be more honorable in leading the way, in bringing good news, success, or attention to the King of Wands, who's standing above the King of Cups right here. Perhaps the King of Cups is working too hard for the King of Wands, the man of passion. And now crowning is the Hanging Man, with a right knee block, which is an anger block on the masculine side. In the energetic exchange with the Divine Feminine, the Pisces or world, or the neighborhood, the Hermit, Page of Pentacles, or the Hermit with a student, completing the Wounded Warrior's path, or Virgo or Pisces child is with the King of Swords. And again, Capricorn, Pisces, and Virgo here, hanging out for new perspectives. We have the King of Swords up right here, who's jealous, or feeling rejected, or just insincere, or just not feeling very loving right now. Hanging out with inequity of not sharing and being dumped, or dumped on, or triggered, or overwhelmed, pushed to their limit. With the Queen of Wands upright and the King of Pentacles reversed, who may be released from prison or anxiety, or with new clarity and independence. With the Page of Wands reversed, refusing to fight the Emperor, and they are both fiery signs, or can't fight him, knowing he can't fight him due to his power, his wealth, and his control. Or the Queen of Cups reversed may be protecting the Emperor, and she could be very manipulative there if she's the Queen of Cups reversed. And soon here is the Nine of Wands upright in a Tower event, or in this could be someone who had experienced something tragic in 9/11, presently coming clean or cleaning up their act in a death, ending, or dark night, or Scorpio with Libra in their chart, or the Grim Reaper, determined to get back what Leo, ego, or child or pet took from them. So there could be someone vengeful here. So there's someone who's trying to get over, like something it just took them a long time to get over their 9/11 trauma, but finally are deciding to clean up their act. And then there's somebody else who wants to get revenge on someone. So they're going the opposite way. Or this could be Libra at reverse energy between Scorpio and Leo, breaking them up. And that could be breaking up a fight at 10/13, which is destiny and transition. And then going into the 14, which is that higher love of balance and truth and patience, and that higher love, but with no peace or bad influences around and temptation. Right? So how is someone going to get over a codependency or addiction if they continue to live around people doing those things? So there's that energy. Temptation, partiers, gossipers, or third parties, or third-party influences or interference around the King of Cups, who's upright, being loving, recovering from exile or illness, and perhaps not working or juggling, breaking patterns to come full circle, or travel there and back, or to see the Divine Feminine and or Pisces here. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Queen of Cups reversed here, or maybe they're in their energy, holding on to stuff, but not their higher self, perhaps called out or needing to swallow their pride and recover or come clean or make a call or decision regarding a message of love ignored to be the center of attention and lead the way and be successful instead, bringing good news to those recovering from grief, loss, or regret, and or feeling like losing their mind or coming out of the closet here. With Pisces, Aquarius, and Virgo all reversed, perhaps Cancer here too, or doctors and nurses perhaps failed the Queen of Cups reversed, saving and being practical for their secret passion, refusing to heed the call and recover from exile, bored with offers of love, so ignoring a gift from God in order to bring news. But now, offers may be turning their back and telling them to get over themselves and uninterested in what they have to offer, where they always got that attention before. at 1024, which is the destiny of high vibration and the Queen of Wands. Attraction, love yourself first, give your relationship a chance, and chemistry all come up for the twins right here. And around the twins are how they're seen is the Four of Wands of the home, with the King of Wands, who's very competitive or conflicted or dealing with a group, playing sports or the game of life, uncomfortable with the emotions of the Queen of Pentacles upright, not wanting to fight, or the King of Wands at home with the Queen of Pentacles, who's watching the Queen of Cups reversed and the roses in the garden, perhaps at the same time, at 1027, that high vibe destiny and new passion here. This also could be a woman who's gay, who's married to a man, who may be having an affair, who's been having an affair for a long time. But again, women could probably get away with it a lot easier than, with another man. So there's Seven of Pentacles here reversed, with the Divine Feminine's heart in an E-tower opening up to the world after no peace or third-party situation or social distancing and or bad influences or no social life, with the devil or addictions, codependencies, or temptation waving, with Capricorn King of Cups recovering with the King of Wands, with the High Priestess reverse bringing good news to the King of Wands. The Four of Pentacles, Divine Masculine's heart in the bat cave, in bliss of abuse perhaps, or sexual frustration. And if there's a blissful abuse, that's, obviously a codependency or an addiction, or sexual frustration with wounded warrior lover, or Gemini or twin at a distance, and the Queen of Cups reversed and the Divine Masculine's heart, the Emperor upright deceiving the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands upright, or getting up early with them, maybe they're the kids, and the King of Wands recovering without help on their own in a split or after a big lie or divide. The Divine Masculine's heart as the Page of Cups giving guidance or a message of love or puppy love here in marital, religious, or establishment frustration or lack of growth or creativity here, and coming full circle or finding completion, or Pisces or Taurus is, and full of bliss and self-satisfaction here, as perhaps coming out while overworked or over-isolating an energetic exchange or arrows of love or lots of energy going back and forth with overworking, or just going crazy and not working out at 1035 of destiny, high vibration, and the wounded warrior and victim mentality. So 1046, the energy of the King of Cups with new information for or about the Queen of Cups reversed and the home or the union, with the Emperor or reason being present to flame and challenged by the shadow of the Nine of Wands, wounded warrior, and the Divine Feminine's heart opening up to come out of the E-tower and hang out with the Divine Masculine's heart in the bat cave, or the Page of Cups or sweetheart or small message of guidance in frustration of ascension or on the ascension journey, now that the worst is over or now that they're in bliss and self-satisfied. The King of Cups and the Emperor both upright here, taking down the field with clarity, a decision, or new information coming in of a gift or presence, and the challenge being the shadow, Capricorn, or shadow work, codependency, or hanging out with the Queen of Cups reverse, wounded warrior at home and or in union. The Divine Feminine's heart open, the Divine Masculine's heart in the cave, with message of love and guidance in finding inspiration to ascend into bliss at 1101. And how about this? So 11 is justice and alignment, truth and balance, and the one of the Divine Masculine or the Magician embodiment, and space between. And let's just do a quick energy card, and then I'll let you go. It's 1:33, just turned to 1:34 on the clock. And it's 8:04 on the other clock, which is the dance, the manifestation of dreams, and the Four of stability, the home, the Emperor, also the Lambda leap. From the Christ God energy in the leap to your higher self, and the 33 to 34, which is the Christ vibration and the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, lots of communication and travel back and forth. Let's see what the energy deck has for you guys. What is our takeaway from this message today? The guardian, the gate. So again, there's that anxiety about union, being afraid to leave the house, being afraid to go into that freedom of the two butterflies, enjoying themselves in union, you know, getting very comfortable in this flowery environment of just staying home. And then here's the 3 of the blossoming abundance. And this is very much the energy of the mother and the daughter here. There could be a daughter who's has a lot of anxiety issues about leaving the house. So somebody might be struggling with that. And again, the mother and the daughter, or the energy of Mother Nature. Maybe she's got allergies, but that again has to do with the trauma body, the emotional body, and healing that in order to get rid of allergies. And whatever fears she might have is probably a past life wound. There's definitely that energy. It's very, you know, there's so much nature in this picture between the two. And she looks very beautiful and sweet in pink. But she's got this fear about nature or leaving the house. And then here's the first chakra of Archangel Michael coming to the rescue, right? The root chakra, either doing healing with the root chakra or the wounded warrior here, a victim mentality. And again, the Savior then reinforces that victim mentality, right? So it's up to the victim, because the 2 outliers or the polarities is actually the perpetrator and the Savior. It's the victim in the middle who has to do the shift to pull those 2 polarities in towards them, towards the middle, and to get rid of that, that distortion, right? Because whenever there's a Savior, there's going to be a victim. So if you don't want to be the victim of the Savior anymore, then you need to do the shift within and not allow them to save you, right? Because that gets very comfortable to allow someone to save you all the time. And then we have the star action of the star, of the earth becoming a star, of you 2 becoming stars, of the 2 polarities coming together and merging and taking action. To be the stars, to shine your light, to have your dreams come true, to heal. That's really beautiful energy. And then the bottom of the deck is the door to romance. Okay, freeing yourself from the cage, finding the key to your heart, the door to romance, the 33 of the Christ vibration of unity consciousness, of understanding the whole by going within. You can't understand the whole without you. It's too overwhelming. It's just impossible for the human mind to understand the whole from the outside mind. You have to go within to connect to the collective whole in order to understand, and that only comes from that meditative place. The door to personal healing and happiness, the 34 of the energetic exchange. So again, here's the 33 and 34 that just came up on the clock when we started, or when I just told you the other minute. So again, the Christ vibration, and then the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, the energy of the Empress and the Emperor. And again, bringing the outside indoors, opening the windows to purify, right? Bringing plants inside perhaps. If this child is afraid of plants and allergies, you might want to test things by bringing plants inside or growing plants. Maybe she's just afraid of that stuff. So perhaps getting her to plant some very innocent herbs in the kitchen and having to take care of them might help her to get past that, is a message I'm getting right here. So again, bringing the outside in and finding the key to your heart. What sets you free? What sets your heart free? What is your passion? What is your key to what floats your boat, what inspires you every day? What is it that you want to do? What do you love to do? It doesn't have to be what other people see as significant. It has to be what really makes you want to get up in the morning. So really finding your true passion and helping others find their true passions, like our children. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature. Follow your own intuition. It's 8:08 on the clock. Rise and be loved, love and rise. I'll see you soon. Bye. Teddy said bye too. It's in their eyes. Bye guys. See ya.